Hello there everyone, and welcome to the Hanging Flowers layering die set video. So first up I am going to cut my images. So I have a piece of the rose quartz cardstock with some double-sided adhesive on the back, and I'm going to be cutting the base parts of the flowers from this. I am using my little mini blossom machine to cut them out, and it does cut perfectly with my little metal shim, so I'm just going to move those ones to the side. I now have a piece of the Puffy Heart cardstock from Altenew. Again, this has the double-sided adhesive on the back, and I'm going to be cutting the smaller second layer of the flowers from this one here. So as you can see, all of the images cut at once, so you don't need to kind of worry about cutting them all individually. I love the fact that they all cut at the same time, so you can create many different flowers just in one go. I'm then going to go on to the leaves. So I have a piece of the beautiful sweet leaf cardstock here, again with the double-sided adhesive. And I'm going to be adding on the detail layers to the two little leaf stems or leaf clusters that we have. And again, I'm going to cut that using my mini blossom machine. Once I've run that through, you can see here that the pieces have cut beautifully. But if you do find that they are sticking in the die, you can use a little pokey tool or a hat pin like I'm using here, just to poke through the little holes that you have on the die to release the die cut. So once I have the dies removed from the die cuts there, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop this piece over to the side again so I can work on to my final piece of cardstock. Now this is the Just Green cardstock from Altenew. Again, I have some double-sided adhesive on the back of this. So I'm going to be adding the solid leaf layers onto this, and also the little flower centers that you can see. To make sure that those flower centers cut perfectly the first time, I will be using the little metal shim that I have, and then I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine, and that's going to make sure that everything cuts perfectly with just one go through my mini blossom. As you can see, these images were getting a little bit stuck again. So all I'm going to do is I am going to take my little pokey tool or hat pin, and I'm just going to poke through the little holes that we have on the die, and that's going to release all of the little die cuts that we have there. I am going to be careful with these little flower centers, as I do want to keep them in place on the cardstock for now. So once that's done, I am going to kind of add the second layers onto the top of the flowers. Now, as you can see on each of these flowers, they do have a little embossed image in the center. And that little embossed image will be the same on the first layer and also the second layer of the same flower. So it's a really clever way to show you which layer goes with which other layer really quickly, instead of having to look at the layering guide. All you need to do is kind of look at the images themselves, and they'll have that little embossed image in the center, so you can quickly and easily pop these together. And you can see, because we did have that double-sided adhesive on the back, it's really quick to add these together and create these beautiful images. Now I'm just going to be using the little centerpieces, and I'm not worrying too much about getting these in the perfect flower. I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference if you use one of the flower centers for one flower when it was made for another. Once the flowers are done, we can move on to the leaves. Now these are really, really easy to pop together. They're just going to line up around the outside edge of each of the images. So they're just going to directly kind of lay on top of another. So there's our first leaf down. Now the second leaf cluster, the large one, has one singular leaf, and then it also has the cluster itself. You can see that those are really easy to pop together on that singular leaf, and then the little leaf cluster has two pieces for this one. I'm just going to add in the larger one first, and then add in the little singular leaf over to the side there. And that is all the layering complete. We really do hope this video helps. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again really, really soon. Bye-bye.